Hello everyone, this is Berserker88, and now for something completely different. Now, as anyone who knows me personally is aware, I am a huge Kung Fu Panda fan. So when I first saw there was a trailer for the new movie, I pretty much shit myself in joy. Now there are two trailers released, one in Chinese and one in English just yesterday. Today I'm going to be doing a frame-by-frame analysis of the Chinese trailer, mainly because there's a lot more to it. I'll also mention the English one as it comes up. Also, just a warning, when I imported this video into my recording software, it came out looking kinda shitty. And DreamWorks actually took down the original video, so if you want to see how pretty this is supposed to look, you're going to have to hunt it down yourself. So without further ado, let's begin. The trailer opens with Shifu explaining something ominous to the five. Now, this being a Chinese trailer, I don't actually understand what's being said, so I kinda just have to assume from context here. And until someone actually translates this, that's the best I can do. Anyway, the five are acting appropriately horrified, even though this is obviously not taking place in the same scene. Also, Crane is missing his hat. He's missing his hat in a few scenes of this, actually. I don't really know what to make of that. In this next scene, we have our first look at our new villain, Kai, aka the Collector, played by J.K. Simmons. This isn't really the best image of him, there will be another one in a bit, but it does make him look pretty menacing. You can also see very faintly that he's got these twin swords, and there's more to those swords than meets the eye, but we'll get to those later too. The other thing of note here is the jade statues of Crane and Mantis on either side of him. Now, I kinda doubt that he just has statues of them lying around, so what I'm instead guessing is that this is what happens to Kai's victims after he drains them, or depowers them, or whatever you want to call it. Which is actually a lot darker than I was expecting. When I first heard about this concept, I was thinking, oh, okay, he takes their powers, so they suck now. They just become really bad at Kung Fu. Yeah, no, it's a lot worse than that. And that's good, because if the worst fate that could happen to Po in this movie is sucking at Kung Fu again, that'd be kinda lame. Then we come back to Shifu, who finishes his little story and looks very despondent about it. Also, I don't really know what this place is supposed to be. There's like a statue of an elephant back there, and I think there was a rhino before. So maybe this is some kind of like graveyard of old masters. Seems appropriate. And after that, we get a much better look at Kai. And we also get to very vaguely hear what he sounds like. Just an evil laugh, but still cool. I have to admit, when I first saw the designs for this guy, I thought he was kinda neat looking, but I also thought he was kinda derpy looking. But I figured he would look a lot cooler once he was actually animated. And boy does he ever. Holy shit. Yeah, we'll get into his feats of badassery later, but for now just let him stare into your soul. Next we have a quick clip of Po. He apparently sees something on that paper he doesn't like. He says something that's probably the Chinese equivalent of "oh crap," and conks out. Now, that by itself isn't really special. What's really cool here is all the little continuity references in this room. First of all, there's of course Poe's action figures over there on the left. On the wall back there, there's a painting of the Tower of Sacred Flame and Master Thundering Rhino, both of which are gone now. Thanks, Shen. To the left of that is a cutesy little drawing of Po and some butterflies, which I swear looks familiar but I can't place. So that's probably another one. Behind his head there is something else I'm also not sure about. My first thought it was part of that ridiculous googly-eyed dragon costume, but it looks a little too small for that. It looks kind of out of place though, so it's probably something. On the wall to the upper right, there's two more pictures which are taken straight out of Poe's room, or Poe's original room from the first movie. The guy's also got a whole rack of weapons right above his bed, which seems really unsafe. I think some of those weapons might be references too. In particular, that one on the very left side of the screen that's partially cut off looks a lot like Shen's halberd. So what, is Po like collecting trophies of his enemies now? And lastly, right there on the right is the adversary, Poe's first true enemy in the series. It looks like they kind of resolve their differences and become friends now, so that's nice. Well, that's all I found. I'm sure there's more that I missed, which the Kung Fu Panda wiki will surely get to at some point. And I spent way too much time fixated on this room, so let's move on already. Next is a scene of Crane flying, and that's about all there is to it. Yeah, I know I just took a hacksaw to Poe's room back there, but that's really all there is to it. It's just Crane flying. Next we have Po, who I assume is Po anyway. He's walking up the mountains and he sees a fireworks display in the distance, which I assume is his village heralding his welcome. I find it kind of ironic that they use fireworks, considering, Shen. But it has been 30 years, I guess they're over it. At least somewhat. Not sure what that is on Poe's back, I'm thinking just like a bag he's carrying with him. Maybe even the same one he had in the last film. Yay, more continuity. Next is one of the prettier moments in this trailer. Even the shitty still frame still looks awesome. In there in the boat is Poe and most likely Master Oogway. I mean, you can't see him too well, but come on. You got the peach tree and everything. I'm not sure where this place is, but clearly it is not on the mortal plane. I'm thinking it's either like a dreamscape or maybe Poe's like passed over to the afterlife very briefly. Like one of those near-death experience vision quests. Anyway, Oogway starts floating, and so does Poe. He's got the greatest look on his face right now, like, who, me? Really awesome outfit he's wearing. It reminds me a lot of the outfit he had in the dream sequence of the first film. Which leads me to believe this is also probably a dream sequence. Or dreamscape. Well, it's in Poe's head is what I'm getting at. I'm not really sure why he's here with Oogway. I guess to do some kind of spiritual training. But really, any excuse for this scene is a good one. Oh my god, this animation. And then shit goes down. We have a fight in the valley between Shifu the Five and what I assume are Kai's minions. And it looks like he does have minions. That's something I've been wondering for a while. And I'll talk more about this later because frankly this is a really awful frame grab. It was pretty much impossible to get one of these that wasn't filled with motion blur. So yeah, let's stop looking at it. In this next scene we have Kai and Poe facing off. Not sure if this is supposed to be a quote-unquote real event, or if this is also happening in Poe's head. Or maybe Kai's inside his mind now, which would be really freaky. Here's a better look at Poe, still wearing that same outfit from before, so this is probably a part of the same scene. He's also wielding Oogway's staff, which looks fixed in this scene. So again, probably a dream. The trailer says such and such, and then we get this image of Poe doing a sly little smile. And he looks very ready to kick ass. And now this. This is the biggest mystery of this trailer for me. What is this ship? Why is there a ship in the middle of the desert? And why are they going to it? I was under the impression this film was going to have two primary locations, the valley and the Panda Village. What the hell is this place? Well, they're not going to tell us, because this next scene we're back in the palace. There's a bunch of scrolls everywhere, they got one open, I can't really tell what's on it. But I'm guessing they're looking up information on the Collector. Because I don't really know why else they'd be here. And yes, Crane is missing his hat again. That's the second biggest mystery of this trailer. In this next scene we have two of the Panda villagers. If you've seen the concept art of Poe with a bunch of pandas in the lake, I think they're both there on the raft. So obviously we're in the village now. And I got a few clips of this scene just because it's so bizarre. We've got someone there in the middle holding on to what looks like two fireworks. They're rocketed into the air, tear the tapestry right off the roof, and fly up into the sky. I got this framed just because it's the clearest image, but I'm pretty sure that's Mei Mei. I don't know why Mei Mei is holding fireworks and rocketing into the air, but she is. I don't know, maybe she wants to be more like Poe. So after that, we have another scene with Kai's minions. They're balancing on staves here, kind of like Oogway. But then they go for the attack, and you can get a pretty good look at them here. At first, I thought these guys were like lesser spears to the Collector, but looking at them here, they're really not organic at all. I mentioned before about Kai turning the Masters into jade statues, and these guys look like anime jade statues. So yes, you've got a Master of Jade fighting Masters of the Jade Palace. That's kind of hilarious. And they're pretty tough too. And that other scene I kind of skipped over, they're each fighting the Masters one-on-one, and holding out pretty well. So they're a step above Shen's minions, who are literal cannon fodder. And then we just have this little shot of everyone rushing into battle. Nothing really special here, it's just how this whole thing kicks off. And then we're back to Magical Dreamland, where Poe is doing some more spiritual training. And looking really, really cool doing so. And then there's this part, which took me a little while to figure out. We're back at the mysterious ship again. Kai's here, and he's throwing one of his swords, which is also on a chain. That's pretty awesome. And since he's throwing it into the air like that, I'm guessing he's trying to hit Crane, given that he's the only one who could fly. Or maybe he's aiming for something completely different. Who knows? Then we cut to Mei Mei again, looking freaked out. Maybe by Kai, maybe by something else. Could be the same scene with the rockets, maybe not. Looks like the same area at least. This is one of my favorite clips right here. I didn't even notice until I froze this that Poe's dad, Li Shan, is in the background. And this scene actually gets a lot more coverage in the English trailer. Yes, I'm finally bringing that up. It's basically part of a big training sequence where all of the five and Poe are trying to bring a cup of tea to Shifu. And the reason I like this so much is because the last time we saw Poe in the training hall, it didn't exactly end well for him. But now he pretty much blows right through it. It's a pretty nice way of showing how far he's come. And even better, his dad's there, so he gets to go, "Hey Dad, look how awesome I am." Oh boy, now we've got the big finale scene. Easily the most memorable part of this trailer. I've got a lot to talk about with this. First of all, this seems to be part of the same battle that's going on down in the valley. It's probably the end of that battle, which predictably does not go well for the heroes. And before anything else, I have to ask, where did they get a giant Oogway statue? I don't remember them having a giant Oogway statue. Did they build it between movies? Because it doesn't seem like it should be that long. Maybe it was a gift? Really, I don't know why I care where they got a giant Oogway statue, because it's not like they get to keep it. So Kai uses his chain sword thing to grab onto the statue. He lifts it off the ground because he's a fucking badass. Shifu's freaking out. The statue looks comically serene about this whole thing. To be fair, the real Oogway would probably do the same thing. Shifu freaks out some more, and yeah. Remember that room full of scrolls from before? What room full of scrolls? It's just gone. And at this point, I think it's fair to say what Kai's villain color is. You know how every Kung Fu Panda villain has a color? Tai Lung's was blue, Shen's was red, and Kai seems to be all about the green. Much like DreamWorks nowadays. And there goes the statue, and there goes the Jade Palace. Now, I don't know if he destroyed it or if he just tore a hole in it, but either way, it's pretty impressive. Now, DreamWorks has claimed from pretty much the beginning that Kai would be the most formidable villain yet. And seeing this, I'm inclined to believe them. Yeah, there's really nothing else to say about the scene than holy shit. Cut to Poe being super happy and excited. This is a pretty accurate depiction of my face when I first saw this. And that's it. So yeah, very awesome trailer. A lot better than the English one in my opinion. And if you're as big of a fan of the franchise as I am, I hope you enjoyed me analyzing the shit out of it. And if you're not, well, too bad. I'll be getting back to Let's Play soon enough. This has been Berserker88, and January 29th cannot come soon enough.